I know I've been hard on Xbox for a while now, but hey, UK doesn't disagree with me. CMA is blocking the Activision Microsoft merger deal. So let's start talking about it. Like, you should start subscribing to my channel and help me get to that 1,000 there. Just like it said in the headlines, the Competition and Market Authority from the UK has blocked the initial deal between Activision and Microsoft. And this comes to a blow to Microsoft, who is already facing multiple investigations into this merger based upon the UK, the European Union, and of course, the United States. Now, I have not been a big fan of this deal since the beginning, and it's not particularly cut and dry, as it was, because when this first started, Activision Blizzard King, yes, got to add that mobile part into it, has had a lot of trouble recently, especially with the sexual assault allegations and the cover-ups, and unfortunately one of the female employees taking her own life. Activision Blizzard King does need new leadership, and as it was said, was on the WAN show from Luke Lafayette, Microsoft was honestly the best bidder. And I know I'm talking like the deal is done. No, it's not done. We're going to get into the specifics of it. There is an appeal process, but it's kind of, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And right now, CMA is trying to block the deal. And again, they're going to appeal it. But Activision Blizzard King does need new leadership. So let's get into what the CMA is stating. And it really wasn't looking at this idea that Microsoft Xbox is trying to form a monopoly with developers. That's actually not where they went, which I find very strange, because it's clear that Xbox, Microsoft is moving to Game Pass subscription services, games as a service rather than just producing games. And they've already shown that they're willing to take the hit on games being bought. Many of their sales are down for first-party releases that also appear on the Game Pass Ultimate subscription service. And yeah, they're taking the hits there because they're expecting that they can build this service and get more people subscribed to it, which in the long run will make them a lot of money. So they're not really caring about that part. It's not that they want developers to control the market of all the games out there. They want to build up a foundation where they can just have all these games ready for Game Pass and make it more appealing. And I've discussed this before. As soon as they get that off the ground, truly off the ground, hey, they will start raising prices. They will behave like they do with Microsoft casual games and start putting ads in there. It's a foregone conclusion. If I'm wrong, I will be happy about it. Trust me. But after playing Minesweeper and Solitaire while doing research, these ads are intrusive and they're definitely coming. Windows 11 is what used to be called spyware, so I believe that wholeheartedly. But I do find the CMA's findings, I said find in the same sentence twice, so cool. I do find it funny, the fact that they're looking at it in a completely different way and actually looking towards the future. So the reason this deal was blocked in the CMA's opinion is they're worried about cloud gaming. So Microsoft, rightly so, intelligently, has been building up their streaming services and cloud gaming. And they have the best out there. They straight up have the best out there, just for everybody. And I was actually looking at the Xbox Game Pass, because before this happened, I was actually about to do a very nice video about Xbox Game Pass and Xbox apps and all that stuff, and this came out, and so I gotta do this one right now. And I was looking at what systems that you can play Xbox on, you can download the app on, and it wasn't Xbox's fault, the systems. I got to my Mac OS and couldn't download it. I could download it on iPhone, iPad, pretty much any device I had, and it's just because Apple didn't want it. So they're clearly building it up. They're clearly intelligent enough to build it up. So I get what they're saying, but it's strange because usually legislators don't look that far into the future and look to see what's best for the consumers when it comes to these things. If you look at the United States Congress, I doubt there's really a gamer in there. Considering what's happening throughout the gaming industry, yeah, it's clear that they don't understand tech, they don't understand gaming. So to see a UK administrator look forward like this, it's a little refreshing. But is it the best move? Like I said, Activision Blizzard King is in a bad place, and cloud gaming isn't really the service that it is. So it's a little tough to tell. I think they're actually going to win it. I really do. I think they're going to be able to appeal it because cloud gaming isn't big yet. It just isn't. And Xbox, for whatever you want to say, they've always been ahead of the curve. The Xbox One was always on, and people flipped out. Well, they were ahead of the curve. That's all our systems, that's our phones, that's everything now. This idea that they're actually focusing on, compatibility with older systems ahead of the curve. That's what everyone wants Nintendo to do. Like, Nintendo finally is starting to create an online system, which, let's be real, Nintendo stinks at it. PlayStation, I haven't heard anything good. Like I've said in many other videos before, I don't have a newer PlayStation. And the ones that I do have, the services are down now. So Xbox has been playing it smart. But yeah, I was worried about the Activision Blizzard King deal with Microsoft because of controlling the games. I didn't think about the cloud services. I know I've been very future thinking about it and how this would lead to a monopoly, but that is an interesting point. And yes, if Microsoft gains control, as the CMA says it, yes, it would hinder competition coming in because, hey, how do you compete with Microsoft if you're a small company? But to another point, I have seen many subscription services before, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, which is now Max, and they fail. They're not big successes. Contrary to all the numbers and all the subscribers, they're not big successes. And the way I position this argument before is that these subscription services only work when you control pretty much all of the content coming in. Like, you would need the monopoly to make it just as the subscription service. But I do have a little bit of hope because Disney is rolling back on Disney Plus, and you're like, what does this matter? Well, they're allowing their content to be over many devices, over many different streaming services, because that's how they actually make money. And I'm thinking Microsoft might be seeing that. And I'm kind of turning the tide on my thought process of whether this is really a bad thing. I know they're gonna mess up Xbox Game Pass. I know that for a fact, simply because it's Microsoft. I know that's tough to hear for people who didn't grow up in the 90s. Microsoft knows how to screw things up. They're really good at it. And as I keep bringing up Microsoft casual games, did Solitaire really need ads? Did Minesweeper really need ads? Mahjong Free Cell? No. No. They didn't need updates. They're just time killers. So I do see them messing up Game Pass that way. But I think with the contracts the way they are, the fact that they're willing to make deals, 10-year deals with Nintendo, with Nvidia, the fact that Valve is really saying, like, we trust Microsoft to treat us fair, I think they are smart enough to see the writing on the wall that, hey, you have to spread these games out across platform. And of course, they're going to make money off of it no matter what. No one really, other than Nintendo, is thinking like, hey, everyone's got to play these games on this specific console. And if it's going to cloud gaming, Microsoft might not care about another console. They didn't really want to do the hardware in the first place. And we've seen how their Surface products go. They're not that great at hardware. Xbox is their best hardware to date. So, yeah, this is an interesting one because it isn't over. And I do see a way out for Microsoft. especially since they are making the deals. Now, CMA is trying to block it. I know the FTC is trying to block it until something happens, the European Union. I still see this going forward. And it's just, while they're paying a lot of money, they are still not the biggest game developers in the world. They're still third in the platform wars. I think that this is going to happen. But tell me your opinion in the comments. Like it if you like the video, dislike it if you don't. Hit that subscribe button. Yes, I'm trying to reach 1,000. And of course, you're amazing. You made it to the end. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.